Hey guys, if you're interested in seeing how I accomplish this nice, beautifully fluffy and full wash and go on fine hair using Curl Junkie products, Beauty Curls, and Curl Queen, stay tuned.
Okay, so I'm starting out on clean hair, and I actually cleansed my hair and conditioned, detangled it, and prepped it for styling using the exact same method I demonstrated to you guys in the first few fine hair bootcamp videos. So if you have not seen that playlist, go ahead and check it out, on my channel. But I didn't do anything differently, guys. So I washed, detangled, conditioned, prepped my hair, and now I'm going to add a leave-in conditioner by Curl Junkie. It's called Beauty Curls, and I love this leave-in conditioner. This isn't a sponsored video. I just really like the product. So I've already applied it to my hair, and I'm going to work it in to the all the way to the end. I feel that every time you style your hair, especially if it's freshly washed, a leave-in needs to go on the hair. Leave-ins are great at supporting the moisture balance in your hair, filling in that moisture, and over time it will help you to reduce the amount of knots and single strand knots you experience as much as possible. So get that leave-in in. Now I'm going to follow up with Curl Junkie's Curl Queen. Now, I fell in love with this particular gel last summer when I first tried it, and it didn't work on some of my denser, thicker haired sisters, but for fine girls, fine haired girls, it works. So I applied it to my hair, avoiding the first inch of hair closest to my scalp because you don't want to put too much product closer to your scalp. It will weigh down the hair. Here, though, I am applying a little extra gel to the nape of my neck because this is where my hair is the finest. And I find that adding a little extra gel helps me to avoid single strand knots and knots in general. So that's a great tip for those of you who have like problem areas where you see lots of single strand knots or knots. So here I'm just, applying more of the gel to this section, and I'm using different techniques. So here I'm using praying hands. It's a great way to evenly distribute products while also promoting clumpage in the hair. And then I also, run the hair between my thumb and forefinger or index finger because that's a great way to get individual pieces of hair to kind of clump together. With fine hair, I find that you don't want the hair to be like um, super clumped. You don't want large clumps of hair because it will make your hair more scalpy, and you'll have more kind of fluffing to do to get the volume you want. So I just use a lot of different techniques when I'm applying the product, and I'm demonstrating these. So, check them out, try them on your own hair, and see what works best for you. Now, in the front of my hair, I do something a little bit different. I do like to apply the styler to that first inch of hair closest to the scalp and then rake it through with my fingers. The reason I do that is just to get a more polished look around where I think I may place my parts. So I do that on both sides of my head where I think I might want to alternate parts. So once I've applied the gel fully to my hair, I pull out my diffuser and I begin diffusing my hair. Now I use low flow of air and I use the cool setting. I'll sometimes use medium also flow of air. It really doesn't matter, whichever you prefer. And I tend to use a diffuser on my roots first. As you can see, my hair is super fine, so it's just easier to get to my roots at the beginning of the process. Then I diffuse the rest of my strands and I pull the hair in the opposite direction of how it will lay and I diffuse it that way. The reason I diffuse it that way is because when your hair dries in the opposite direction in which you're going to wear it, you get built in fullness when you pull that hair into place. So having that airflow happen underneath the hair, again, it's a great way to get fullness without having to do a lot of work. So my hair is probably 80% dry here, and I have a bit of fullness, which is more than I would normally have if I just let it air dry. The clumping is great. As you can see, it's not thickly clumped together. There are not lots of nice individual, nicely defined curls here. So now I'm going to begin to style my hair, and I'm going to use magic fingers to do what I call frizz-free fluffing, and that's where you massage your scalp. It creates instant volume around your scalp. And then I like to alternate doing that and pulling the hair up and out in the opposite direction of which I'm going to wear it. That helps me to get fullness as well. And it also loosens up the curls. When you pull the curls, it causes them to kind of bounce and you get automatic fullness. So here, as you can see, I pulled my hair in the opposite direction in which it dried, and I have a nice little bump there. It gives you built-in fullness. So I highly recommend kind of drying the hair in the opposite direction in which you'll wear it. And as my hair continues to dry, I tend to pull it, back and forth in the front from one side to the other. It just allows me to get more fullness. So my hair, again, it's not fully dry. It's going to continue to get big kind of as the day goes on, but I like to position it in the way, I think I want to wear it for the day. So once I'm done, this is pretty much what it looks like. It will get bigger as it dries. If you want to have like immediate more volume on the top of your hair, you could also use this technique. You can pull the sides of your hair as well as the back. I usually leave the front out and do a very, very loose pineapple. Loose is the opposite word. If you have fine hair, you know the fine hair struggle means that when you pineapple, if you pull it too tight, your curls will go straight. So you want to leave it like this for a few minutes. I'm just doing like 15, 20 seconds. But when I pull this out, you'll see that I have volume, a little more volume in the top than I had before. So the longer you leave it in, the more volume you'll have. All right. So another tip, if you want to have more length, is to pull those areas loosely where you want the length and then bring them together under your chin and then use that ponytail holder or a clip, I guess you could use a clip and just hold it in place like that for about a minute or so and you'll have more volume at the bottom. All right. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys. I enjoyed making it. I love wash and goes, and fine hair naturals can certainly rock them. So I hope you guys, again, I hope you liked it. If you did, don't forget to thumbs up and feel free to share the video with other fine hair naturals so that we can all floss our fine, beautiful hair. All right. See you guys later. Bye.